So you need your ID in order to register to vote. I think we're all clear on that. You need your student ID, and this is what this bill is saying, you need your student ID to be able to vote. So if I have a real ID, that means that I am not just a registered voter, I'm registering to vote, but I'm also a U.S. citizen. An individual who's not a U.S. citizen can't get a real ID. So because they can't get a real ID, of course they can't register to vote. That's if we're talking about our students. I just asked my aide and I asked my my intern, I wanted to see a picture of their ID cards, and they just sent me their ID cards. These are ID cards that they take to go vote, and it has their name, it has their picture, it has a barcode on the side. All of that is on their ID card. I wouldn't want, you're going to want, for especially parents who have children in school, you're going to want them to know where they live, whether they're from Miami or whether they're from Broward. You're going to want that. That's not on the ID card. The ID card is just for them to be able to vote. Since 2006, members, since 2006, we have allowed students to be able to use their ID card in order to vote in elections. Why? Because we wanted to make sure that students weren't being disenfranchised to be able to vote. ID card not supposed to tell whether individuals are naturalized citizen or not. That's never been the case since you all been in college. The last thing I'll make mention of is our senior citizens. This amendment that I have does not change the essence of this legislation at all. All this amendment is saying is ensuring that our seniors could be able to use our ID card, because I'm looking at the amendment, and all we're doing is inserting student identification and look, retirement center identification cards. Imagine our young people going to, as they're in school, they're not all responsible. Y'all know how y'all was in college. You lose your driver's license, election day comes, and what's the expectation? I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican. You all would not want your students not to be able to vote in the election. If we pass this amendment, that irresponsible, or I call them irresponsible, college student who go to vote will not have an identification card, and now they can't vote at all. Because now we're requiring them to have a real ID, which they should have, but they don't. But they do have their student ID card to be able to vote in an election. Members, all we're doing is we're maintaining current law. This is not changing the essence of the bill. We're maintaining current law and ensuring that our seniors and our students can still vote in an election using that type of identification card. And I'll end with this, y'all. We can even include the neighborhood association identification card. I agree with you. I mean, people probably can make ID cards. I don't have that type of energy to do that. I don't know how they do it. But maybe that's what those individuals are doing if they're making identification cards or public assistance identification cards. We just dealt with that not too long ago. So we're not even talking about that. We're talking about student IDs, retirement center identification cards to be able to vote for those individuals who are our students and our seniors who probably do not have access to an ID. And I'm hoping that we can at least in this amendment maintain current law to ensure students and our seniors can use their identification cards to be able to vote. And that is the amendment, Mr. President.